All right, we are going to go ahead and get started today. Today's practice is going to be focused on perspective, using our physical body to shift our perspective. And after our practice today, we can go ahead and think about how we can use the physical body to shift the perspective in lots of different ways and bringing that shift in perspective with us throughout our day or our week. So let's go ahead and get started, making our way to a resting seated position, and that's whatever that looks like for you today. We have some options with the hands. We can ground them on the knees. If we're looking for something within the self today, if we'd like to receive some energy from the space around us, allowing the palms to reach up towards the sky as the backs of the hands rest on the knees. All together, wherever we are, allowing the eyes to shut softly. The spine is long. Take a big deep breath and allow those shoulders to fall away from the ears. Taking a couple moments to get acclimated with our breathing here. Inhale through the nostrils for a count of 4 or 5. Allow those lungs to fill up with air, followed by an open mouth exhale for a count of 5, 6. Slowing down the breathing, allowing the heart rate to settle. And repeating this cycle, inhale through the nose, followed by open mouth exhale. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. I encourage us to notice the cyclical nature of the breath here as we take in what we need, release what we don't. Take in what we need, release what we don't. Altogether, I'd like us to allow any emotions, things to do, particular thoughts that exist outside of the mat today to remain outside, so we can be fully present for our bodies today. Be fully present on the mat and be fully present for all the shifts and perspectives we're going to gain today. Giving ourselves the opportunity to be right here and nowhere else. And our next exhalation, just subtly allowing the chin to bow. And as we inhale, making small circles with the head. This is a really controlled movement. We can lead with the chin as it comes up and back down, but these are just really small. If we'd like, switching sides. Again, nice controlled movement. Nothing too wide. Warming up the cervical spine. Go together on our next inhalation. We can open this circle up, allow us to get a nice head roll going here. If we're feeling any tension in the neck, feel free to continue with our small circles just as good. Whatever feels good for us. Now together we can go ahead and rest. Inhale, come to center. The gaze meets each other. Draw both arms up to the sky. Reach through the fingertips. Nice stretch through the rib cage. And all together, allowing those shoulders to come into their sockets. The right hand meets the ground beside us as we extend through the left side. Again, just warming up the spine before we get into the bulk of our practice here. The gaze can be down towards the bottom hand or up towards the top, whatever feels good. And as we inhale, come to center. Exhale, rotate over, opposite side. Big deep breath in, shift with the gaze as we need to. Pelvis is rooted on the mat. And as we inhale, come to center. Exhale, bring both arms straight out in front of us. As we inhale, we're opening out those arms, drawing the shoulders down and back, take up space. And as we exhale, we're rounding out the back, bringing the palms of the hands together, subtle tuck of the chin. And repeating this, inhale, open up. Big deep breath in, and exhale, bring all that energy inward, round out the spine. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round it out. Inhale wide. And exhale, round. Last time, inhale, open up. And exhale, round it out. And all together, we can release the hands down onto the knees. Inhale, roll those shoulders down the back as we allow the gaze to come up to meet each other. Beautiful. Making our way onto our hands and knees. Checking our alignment when we get there. The wrists are underneath the shoulder blades, knees are hip width apart. Tuck those toes behind the thighs as much as they can be. All together, allowing the right foot to come to the outside of the mat for a kidney squeeze. Feel a little compression in the right side body there. If we'd like, even lifting that right heel off the ground, engaging the glute muscle a bit. Holding here. Exhale, release the right knee. And all together, bringing the opposite foot to the outside of the mat. For a kidney squeeze, we're waking up these inner organs. If we'd like, lifting up that left heel, engaging the glute muscle. Holding. And exhale, we can release that left knee. As we inhale, coming into cow pose, drop the belly button down, lift the crown of the head and the tailbone. And as we exhale, round out the back, tuck the tailbone and chin for cat pose. Inhale, open up. Belly button drops down. And as we exhale, round it out, tuck the tailbone and chin. Press away with those muscles in the back body, just like in our warm-up. Inhale, open up, shoulders come down and back. Exhale, round it out. Tuck the chin and the tailbone. 2 more times. Inhale wide. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, open up. And exhale, round it out. And all together, coming to a nice neutral spine. Keeping that right hand planted on the floor. As we inhale, draw the left arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread that left arm through the space in the right side. The shoulder and cheek meet the mat for threading the needle pose. Now, if we'd like, we can keep our right hand planted on the floor here. Otherwise, we can walk it forward, opening up the shoulder blade. If we'd like to go for a bind here, We're allowing that right forearm to come behind the back. But again, we're asking ourselves what feels good for our body today and doing that. Perhaps noticing our shift in perspective here as we rest the side of the head on the mat, using our shoulder as support. Allow any tension to be released from the forehead here and the face. Focusing on the breathing. And on our next inhalation, we're using the strength of our arms to bring us right back up to a tabletop position. Inhale, draw the right hand up to the sky, allow the gaze to follow. And as we exhale, we're threading that right arm through the space in the left side, shoulder and cheek meet the mat. Threading the needle pose. If we like, using this left hand as support here. Otherwise, we can walk the left hand forward, open up the shoulder blade. If we'd like, guiding that left forearm behind the back in a bind, whatever feels good. Breathing here. Working our way towards finding comfort in some discomfort, in some shift in perspective. And all together, taking our time, making our way back up to that tabletop position. Flipping the back toes as we guide the hips up and diagonally back into downward facing dog pose. If we'd like, we can paddle out the feet here, warm up those hamstrings. As we lift one heel up off the ground, send the opposite down. And I encourage us to slow down this movement, allowing ourselves to stretch those micro muscles in the ankles and the feet. And all together, coming to stillness at our down dog. Hold for 4 breaths. Allow the gaze to be looking at those toes or through the legs, pressing through the hands. Take nice deep breaths here. And all together, releasing the knees down to the mat. Send the hips down onto the heels for hero's pose. If that's feeling uncomfortable for us, feel free to sit on our bottoms. We're just going to be here for a little bit though. As we inhale, reach both hands up to the ceiling. Reach through the rib cage, nice long spine. As we exhale, leading with the chest as we turn to the left side. Allow the arms to open up and out in a twist. Our gaze is working towards the back hand here, but if that's uncomfortable for the neck, feel free to hang out to the side. Nice soft gaze. Inhale, center the arms, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, leading with the chest as we turn to the right side, allowing those arms to come out and down with control. The gaze is working its way towards that back hand. But if that's uncomfortable, just gently looking to the side here. Inhale, right back to center. Exhale, reach the hands down, come back into our tabletop position. Flip the back toes, guide the hips up and diagonally back into downward facing dog pose. And hold for 4 breaths. All together, as we inhale, draw the right heel up to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Gaze is still towards those toes. Engaging the glute muscle to get that right heel up. We have some options here. If we'd like, we can bend into the right knee, stacking the hips. And if we'd like to go for a wild thing pose today, allowing that right foot to meet the ground as we open up the chest, and that left foot grounding the left arm into the ground. All together, wherever we are, grounding that right hand and the right foot, hips come high, down dog. Holding here. As we inhale, draw that left heel up to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Gaze is towards the toes. Again, with some options, you can bend into the left knee here, stack the hips. If we'd like to go for a wild thing pose, allowing that left foot to come down to the ground as we open up the chest and that back foot. Reaching the left arm up to the sky, using our right hand as full support. And all together, wherever we are, ground that left hand and the left foot. Reach the hips up to the ceiling, down dog. Breathe. All together, we can go ahead and reach those knees down to the mat. Send the hips all the way down and back for child's pose. Allow the chest to soften along with the forehead. Gaze is nice and soft here. And all together, as we inhale, coming to a tabletop position. Grounding the forearms onto the mat, the elbows are underneath the shoulder blades. All together, lift those hips up, step the feet in for dolphin pose. Again, the gaze is looking towards those toes or past the feet, pressing through the shoulder blades to get stability here. Breathing. All together, as we inhale, draw the right heel up to the ceiling. Engaging that glute muscle to do so. And as we exhale, bring the right foot down. Inhale, left heel rises. Pressing through those shoulder blades. And all together, release the left foot, holding here. And all together, releasing those knees. Send the hips down and back, chest is soft along with the forehead for child's pose. Breathing here. All together, as we inhale, coming to a tabletop position. Grounding the hands underneath the shoulder blades, we're stepping the feet back, allowing those hips to be in line with the shoulders for high plank. Hold. Gaze is towards the mat. All together on our next inhalation, bringing all that weight into this left hand, coming onto the side of the feet as we reach the right arm up to the sky for a side lunge. If we'd like, we can bring the right knee up here just to allow that right foot to meet the ground, using it as support or a kickstand here if we were feeling too much tension in the side body and the full expression of our side lunge today. Wherever we are is fine. Shifting the gaze as we need to. Making sure those fingertips are pressed into the mat for extra support. All together, allowing that right hand to come down towards the ground. Bring the right foot back, high plank. Holding here. And on our next inhalation, coming onto the side of the right foot, reaching that left hand up to the sky for a side plank. Again, if we'd like, lifting that left knee just to allow that left foot to meet the ground. Just a little kickstand for us here. Shifting the gaze as we need to. Pressing those fingertips into the mat for extra support. And all together, releasing that left palm, bringing that left foot back, high plank. All together, step the feet in, hips high, down dog. Hold for 4 breaths. Gaze towards those toes. As we inhale, walking the feet up towards the hands, chest stays low, forward fold, hips are high, relax the neck and those arms fully. We can shake the head yes and no, releasing any tension from the neck. And as we inhale, super slow, rolling that chest up, vertebrae by vertebrae. That means our head is coming up very, very last, finding ourselves in a standing position. Ground the feet at hip width apart. Turn those palms out so they're facing the space around us. Engage the core. Tadasana, standing mountain pose. Breathing here. Inhale, reach both arms up to the ceiling. And all together, allowing the left foot to come back as we bend into the front knee for high lunge. On an exhalation, allowing that back foot to meet the mat at 45 degrees. The heel meets the ground. Allow those arms to open up and out. For warrior 2, check in with the fingertips. Nice parallel arm. As we inhale, flip the top hand. Exhale, high five the back wall, reverse warrior. This left arm can rest on the back leg here to come around behind the body. Whatever feels good. Lifting that gaze up with the arm, finding a nice strong stretch here. A nice shift in perspective. All together, inhale, returning to our warrior 2. Check in with those arms. On an exhalation, send the chest over this front thigh. Turn the front hand over. Allow the left arm to come overhead, nice and strong here. For power warrior, feeling that extension and that engagement in the side body. All together as we inhale, open up, find ourselves in warrior two. Inhale, draw the chest forward, arms reach up to the sky, warrior one. Square those hips towards the front of the room. All together, reaching those hands down, interlacing the fingertips behind the back, lifting through the chest here. And all together as we exhale, sending the chest down, subtly lifting up on those wrists for a humble warrior. Allow yourself to bow. And inhale, come right back up to warrior one. Those arms reach up towards the sky. Coming off the back heel and onto the balls of that back foot for high lunge. All together, press through that back foot, finding ourselves at standing. Allow those arms to come down. We can wiggle out the shoulders if we need to. As we return to our mountain pose, the feet are hip width apart. Turn those palms out so they're facing the space around us. Roll the shoulders down the back. Take a nice deep breath. Find strength and stability here. On our next inhalation, reach those arms up to the sky. Send the right foot back as we bend into the front knee for a high lunge. Holding here. All together on an exhalation, allowing that back foot to come down about 45 degrees. The hips and the arms open up for warrior two. Check in with those fingertips. The arms are working their way towards parallel. All together, inhale, flip the front hand. Exhale, high five the back wall. Reverse warrior. Allow the gaze to lift with the chest and the arm here. If we'd like, our right hand can relax gently on the back of the leg, or it comes around the back here. Breathing. And as we inhale, come back to center at warrior two. Check in with those fingertips. All together, send the chest over this front thigh. Turn that palm of the left hand out as we reach the right hand overhead for our power warrior. Reaching through the fingertips, because if we start to collapse these arms, the chest is going to want to collapse as well. Engaging the core, allowing that gaze to be out towards the side here. Breathing. One more breath here. As we inhale, open up, warrior two. Check in with the fingertips before we move anywhere. Inhale, draw the chest forward, reach both arms up to the sky. Warrior one, those hips square towards the front of the room. All together, exhale, release these hands behind the back. Lift through the chest. And on an exhalation, lowering the chest all the way down to this front thigh. Subtly reaching up on those wrists for humble warrior. Take a bow. Breathing. And on our next inhalation, reaching those arms all the way back up, warrior one. All together, coming off the back heel and onto the balls of that back foot for high lunge. And inhale, using the strength of that back foot to guide us to the top of the mat. Find ourselves in a standing salute pose. As we exhale, hinge at those hips as we allow the arms to come down, forward fold. Resting here. Slight bend in the knees if we have tight hamstrings. Breathe. All together, extending the left leg out as we bend into the right knee. Keep the right hand planted on the ground. Inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky. Allow the gaze to open up along with the chest. Exhale, release the left hand. Bend into left knee, reach right arm up to the sky. And exhale, bring that right hand down. Find ourselves in forward fold. Bending the knees as much as we need to ground the hands here. Step the feet back, hips high, down dog. And hold 4 breaths. Gazes towards the toes. Looking through those feet. All together, allow those shoulders to come over wrists. Step the feet back, hips in line with the shoulder blades, high plank. And hold. All together, allowing ourselves to come onto the side of this right foot. Right hand stays planted in the mat. Reach the left arm up to the sky. We have the option to use the left leg as a kickstand here as well in our side plank. Breathing. All together, returning that left hand to the ground, stepping the feet back for high plank. And shifting over to the side of that left foot, left palm stays planted. Reach the right arm up to the sky. If we'd like, using that right foot as a kickstand for us. For our side plank. The gaze is out towards the side here, or down towards the ground. Whatever feels better on the neck. Making sure we're breathing. And all together, returning that right hand back to the mat. Stepping the feet back, hips in line with shoulders for a high plank. And all together, releasing both knees down onto the ground. Allowing the forearms to meet the floor, elbows underneath the shoulders. As we inhale, press the feet into the floor as we guide the hips high for dolphin pose. Take a deep breath. The gaze is towards the toes here. Holding. As we inhale, draw that right foot up to the ceiling. Engaging the glute muscle to support us here. Exhale, bring the right foot down. Inhale, left heel rises. All together, releasing the left foot. Allow the knees to meet the mat. Send the hips all the way down and back. The chest is low for child's pose. If we'd like, we can keep the arms in front of us or draw both arms to our sides, allowing that back to round out fully over the thighs. Whatever we're looking for today. Just breathing and catching our breath. And all together on our next inhalation, returning to a tabletop position, grounding those wrists underneath the shoulder blades. All together, flipping the back toes, guide those hips up and diagonally back into downward facing dog pose. Pressing through the hands, gaze is towards the toes, and holding for 4 breaths here. All together, as we inhale, send the right heel up to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. We have some options. We can stay right here, bend into the right knee to get a nice stretch in those hips, or allow that right foot to all the way come down and back, open up the chest, and this left leg here for a wild thing. Pressing that left arm into the ground. Wherever we are, and all together, releasing the foot back down onto the ground, finding ourselves in a down dog position. Breathe. The neck is soft. We can shake the head yes, and no, isolating all that tension to the shoulder blades, the hands, and the feet. As we inhale, draw the right heel, the left heel up to the ceiling, 3-legged dog. Holding here. We have some options. We can stay here, bend into the left knee and stack the hips, or let that left foot come all the way down and back, open up the chest for wild thing. And all together, bring the foot and the hand back. We lifted it. Hips are high. Down dog. Hold for 4 breaths. All together, releasing those knees all the way down onto the ground. Send the hips all the way down and back. Relaxing the forehead and the chest. Child's pose. Breathe. As we inhale, come right back up to a tabletop position. Grounding those hands underneath the shoulder blades, making sure those fingertips are pressed into the mat. Flip the back toes, guide the hips up and diagonally back, downward facing dog pose. And hold for 4 breaths. The gaze is towards the toes. All together, releasing the knees all the way down onto the ground. Send the hips onto the heels for hero's pose. If that's feeling really uncomfortable for us, feel free to sit on our bottoms again. Only going to be here for a minute. As we inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Nice full reach. As we exhale, leading with the chest as we turn to the left side. Allow those arms to come out and down to our sides in a twist. The gaze is working its way towards that back hand. But if that feels straining on the neck, feel free to just look out to the side here. Inhale, reach up, right back to center. Exhale, leading with the chest, turn to the right side. Allow those arms to come out and down with control. The gaze is following the back hand. And just hanging out to the side here. And as we inhale, come right back to center. Arms reach up. Exhale, relax those hands onto the ground. Finding ourselves in a tabletop position, flip the back toes, guide the hips up and diagonally back. Our last downward facing dog pose of the class today. Hold for 4 breaths. And all together, releasing those knees down onto the ground. Send the hips back and the chest comes down, child's pose. If we'd like, the hands can hang out here, or we can allow them to come down to our sides, allowing that back to round out fully. Breathing. And all together on our next inhalation, we're lifting through the chest and making our way onto our backs for some cool downs before we get into Savasana today. So all together, finding a nice cozy spot for the spine. The hands can rest to their sides, feet are planted in the ground, knees are bent. As we inhale, draw the right ankle over the left knee, finding ourselves in a figure 4 position. If we'd like, we can gently push this right knee away from us, opening up the hip. Otherwise, we can interlace the fingertips around the left thigh, draw the left knee in close to the chest. Nice stretch in the glute muscle as well as that right hip joint. If you'd like, we can roll out the left ankle here clockwise and counterclockwise. Breathing. Perhaps even allowing the eyes to shut. We just take a couple moments to allow the body to cool down, get some final stretches in. All together, release the left foot. If you lifted it, ground the right foot after. Inhale, left ankle comes over, right knee, figure 4. Big leg, gently pressing that left knee away from the body, just opening up the hip joint. Otherwise, interlacing the fingertips around the right thigh, drawing the left leg close to the body. And roll out right ankle clockwise, counterclockwise. Breathing here. All together, releasing the right foot and allowing the left to come down as well. Inhale, bring both knees in close to the chest, recline child's pose. Rocking from side to side, if that feels good, you can massage the full length of the spine. We have the option to hang out here, otherwise grabbing towards the inner soles of the feet and allowing those knees to come out and down to our sides for happy baby. Option to extend one leg as we bend into the opposite knee, stretching out those hamstrings and exploring with our own body, asking ourselves what we need. All together, bring both knees into the chest if they weren't already there. And as we inhale, send the left heel up to the ceiling. Keep the right knee in close. And as we exhale with complete control, lowering that left leg down onto the ground. Rolling out the right ankle if you didn't already. And inhale with complete control, lifting that left heel right back up to the sky. Bring the left knee in, draw the right heel up to the ceiling. And with complete control, lowering that right leg down. Rolling out the left ankle if we didn't already. And as we inhale with complete control, allowing that right heel to reach back up to the sky. All together, bring the right knee in, nice and small. Allowing both legs to reach down and out below us. The arms reach overhead. We're at a full extension. All together on an inhale, just reach through the fingertips. Pulling through the rib cage and the chest like a good morning stretch. And as we exhale, we can release those arms. All together, press through the toes. So we're stretching the shins and the tops of the feet. Really pressing through those toes. And all together, release. On our next inhalation, we're reaching through the fingertips as we push through the heels. Stretching the full length of our body, the backs of those legs. And all together, we can relax. Allow those arms to come down to our sides. Turn those palms so they're facing the ceiling. Shoulders roll down the back. And allow the legs to come wider than hip width apart so the feet splay out nice and naturally. Taking this time to check in with the body. Notice the toes, the balls of the feet, the soles and the tops of the feet. Notice the heel and each ankle, calves and the shins. Notice each knee, the quadriceps and the hamstring. Allow the hips to be heavy and weighted. Notice the muscles in the stomach and the inner organs. Notice the rib cage, the heart and the lungs. Notice the collarbone and the shoulder, the biceps and the triceps. Notice each elbow, the forearm, the wrist, the palms of the hand, and each and every fingertip. Finding a release. Bringing our attention to the muscles in the face, relaxing the eyebrows and any tension in the forehead, eye sockets and the cheekbones heavy. Removing the tongue from the roof of the mouth so the lips part naturally. Taking, if not just this one moment today, to be completely free of tension, to allow the floor beneath us to bear all of our weight, not holding on any thoughts or emotions that exist outside of this space, focusing only on what's right here, this body, this rest, our shift in perspective. If we'd like, we can stay in our corpse pose for another moment. Otherwise, unless we're pregnant or have high blood pressure, we can roll over to the right side and allow the knees to come in nice and close. The chest follows in a fetal position. Just allowing ourselves to be close with the body for another moment. And I'd like us to take this time to send a thank you note to the body and mind that brought you to the mat today. Whether that looks like a simple thank you for being able to move and breathe, to be able to try. Perhaps that looks like the compliment we needed to hear today or this week, and giving that compliment to ourselves. finding the value in our own opinion. And upon sending that thank you note, taking our time with the body, making our way back up to a resting seated position, much like the one we started our class with today. Bringing our hands to heart center or your third eye. I thank you all for sharing this practice with me, for allowing me to lead you through it, for trying. The light and the love within me sees, I bow, and recognize the light and the love within you. Namaste.